I would never say I'm self-made, I need a lot of help. Pray I never let the wealth change the way I see myself. I got love all around me, but sometimes I forget. Made a promise to my childhood self, we'll never quit. Yeah, I know I go too far sometimes. I know I go too far sometimes. But let me bring it back home for you. I'ma bring it back home for you, baby. So let me bring it back. I got thoughts and dreams and lots of things that might not make no sense to you. I keep my mouth shut and do the work before I introduce the ideas on my heart and on my spirit, things I care about. Protect them with my life, just like my family. I ain't scared of doubt. Just know what I've been doing gonna work or lead to something better. If I mark you off my list right now.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Man, listen, it's February 2nd, the second day in the month of my favorite month, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a little bit. But, of course, it's Black History time. So let's go ahead and, just give it up to the Black History, to the ancestors who paved the way before us. Of course, it's Black History Month, and so just so excited despite what's going on in the world. I'm going to try to just not even, we're just going to keep it positive and just really rely on the ancestors and just all the strength and positivity that we can pull from as we move forward through this month, because Black history is, of course, American history. And we're just so grateful for Dr. Carter G. Woodson for coming up with the notion, which started out as a week, has been expanded to a whole month. And so a lot of people criticize us for saying, hey, it's the shortest month in the year. So what? I mean, it's just 2 days shorter, but we're still going to celebrate. I know I'm going to celebrate at school. And so, man, happy Black History Month. And for those of you who are watching right now, go ahead and drop a comment. I see a couple of folks. I think Lisa's watching. I see Melanie Johnson. Go ahead and just drop a heart. Just say, hey, what's up? Just let us know you're here. And just welcome to the inaugural Best in the West podcast. I am your host, Mr. Riley, class of 1980. One of the OGs as well, one of the OG 54 students that started way back in the day on the Pepperdine campus. And so this particular avenue or content that we're putting out was spearheaded by an idea by the NCS alumni president, I'll just call him El Presidente. And so, he's like, hey, man, we should do a podcast and put some information out there as it relates to the alumni. And so we're connecting with alumni and all that kind of good stuff. So this is the first brand new episode that we're coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. And the good thing about it, I think a couple of days ago, we had a failed attempt to go live. I think I went live in my group. We didn't go live in the page. So now we are live where we need to be. And so I'm just so thankful for making sure that we're working all the kinks out this evening. So without further ado, let me go ahead and start my timer because, my guest tonight, sometimes he can talk. He can, I've already told him, like, look, man, let's keep your answers brief and we're just going to do what it does tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in the NCS NCS alumni. we want this to get back to this is the alumni, NCS Alumni Board President, Mr. Darin Hudson. What's going on, sir?
Hey, James, I'm so glad you cleared that up.
Man, because, you'll get phone calls. I'll get phone calls. I might even get some hate mail. So we just had to clear that up, man.
I don't really get phone calls. People walk directly up to me now.
Oh, there you go now. I wish the Joker would walk up and, anyway, we're going to keep it positive. What's going on, sir?
I'm good.
Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month to you too, James.
Absolutely, man. So let's go ahead and kick things off, man, because we don't have a lot of time. We just want to engage some folks and kind of get it out there that we're having this kind of medium and we want folks to tap in. So, man, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah, we'll start there. Just tell us about who you are and just your connection to Normandy Christian School.
Oh, wow. I'll try to give a succinct answer as possible. My name is Darin Hudson. I'm class of 83. I was voted most talkative, and I was voted most neatest in the class of 83. I am a younger brother of an older sibling that went to Normandy Christian School. My sister, Marcetta Hudson, graduated a year before me, and then my niece, Imari Taylor, graduated in 2015 after me. I'm the son of Faye Hudson, who worked at Normandy Christian School for 40 years as the school's business manager. She was there for 4 decades. So that's my rundown.
Hey man, we we just gonna go ahead and give it up to Faye Hudson, man. Office manager extraordinaire. Just in that little box, just a little box. You just walk by and be like, hey, is she, some of us were too little to kind of reach over and, she'd have to stand up and be like, hey, Miss Hudson. But yeah, shout out to her and just everything that she's done. And not only her, her counterpart, Mary Quick, Sister Mary Quick, just everything that she did. So just shout out to both Mary as well and Faye. Let's go ahead and, give them a round of applause just for their dedication to the kids at NCS.
This is also a good time to bring up, in case people who were not aware, who weren't at the reunion, that we actually named or renamed the office that Ms. Quick used to occupy. So it is now called the NCS Alumni, I believe it's called the Faye Hudson and Mary Quick Memorial Office, and named in their honor. So that was one of the least of the things that we could do when we decided to come back and bring this back, was to pay homage and tribute to the people who helped this thing start off. So
absolutely. Shout out to them and shout out to having an alumni office. Now, I see my good friend Erwin Woodard is watching. What's going on, Woodard? Man, let us know if the content is sounding much better than our failed attempt from a couple of days ago. I would appreciate it. It's kind of hard. I don't want to turn my phone up to kind of, check and see. I don't want the content to kind of bleed back into the our podcast tonight. So if you're there, just let us know. Hey man, make sure, just tell us everything is running nice and crispy, the audio and the video and all that kind of good stuff. We did some testing over here, but it's nothing like someone watching and giving us feedback in real time. So if we need to make some adjustments, Erwin, just let me know. He's kind of like our techie, our sound check guy away.
technical sound advisor? That's the role you're giving him?
Man, listen, you always like giving people titles, man.
Well, no, you said it. I was echoing what you talked about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate Erwin out there. Erwin, of course, is an NCS alumni. Okay, so cool. Let me go ahead and drop this real quick, man. He says, yo, much better. We can hear both of y'all. Good job. Appreciate it, man. We was over here working things out, and so I didn't think about this particular setup until after our failed attempt. So let's go ahead, man, and talk about just why have this medium? We know there's a whole bunch of ways to kind of reach alumni and supporters of NCS. So just why this particular medium that we're having, trying to develop a podcast on behalf of NCS, the Alumni Association?
Well, the streaming medium is basically the hottest and most innovative medium that you can have in today's times. You're able to reach people in real time. You're able to reach people in playback. You're able to raise the visibility or awareness of your organization. So for us, the YouTube channel was a great way to just lift our content, get it to a wider audience, and also, and make no mistake about it, being able to monetize this channel so that we can take those proceeds and dump them back into our organization so that we can continue to help the school grow and reestablish itself. So for us, it was a win-win.
Absolutely. And I like that because, it's going to take a while for us to kind of monetize. And so here's the first step. If you're watching, and let me see if I have this pulled up on my screen here that we can show what we're talking about. Let me see. But no, YouTube is great. And what we're trying to do is, just create a legacy. Now we'll talk about the legacy that Darin wants to create as it relates to NCS and the Alumni Association. But let me see if I think I do. There we go. Okay, so you can't see Darin, but here is the NCS YouTube page. And so what we need you to do, what we need everyone to do right now, if you look at it, I think we only have one subscriber, and that might be Darin. Darin, is that you?
I don't think so.
Okay, it might be somebody else, but we need subscribers. So again, this is a place where we'll place content. And so if you can, on YouTube, and we'll drop the link as well, on YouTube, we want you to go to YouTube at NCS Alumni. And what I'll do during the broadcast is I'll go ahead and post the link so folks can automatically become a subscriber to our YouTube channel. What do you think about that, Darin?
I think that's great. As many opportunities as we can present content, get content in front of people, and be consistent with our content, that's going to be a win-win for us in both categories of everything that we're trying to accomplish and everything we're trying to start. I really want to be excited about getting in the front of a lot of people who are now NCS alumni who are small business owners. We want to help raise their platform, increase their revenue with their business. So we want to invite many former students on that are in professional spaces, that are small business entrepreneurs. I'm still looking for someone who does cupcakes. So if there's anyone in the NCS alumni group that does cupcakes, because the NCS preschoolers, that's what they love. They like cake for their graduation, but those kids really love cupcakes. And I would love to get someone who's already in the group to start pumping those out for those kids and letting them have that and basically giving that small business owner some shine.
Okay, that's cool. But let's, before we hop over to the preschool, let's just talk about the current state of NCS. So NCS, and it's not what it used to be. And so it's not the school that has, 10 to 15 kids per grade. Right now, it's just the preschool. But before we talk about preschool, let's kind of take a small walk down memory lane. Can we?
Okay.
So, like I said, I was one of the OGs. Shout out to me. You know what I'm saying? Being one of the OGs at NCS, I had a lot of wonderful days, hot dog days, performances, and all that kind of good stuff. Man, tell us, what was some of your favorite days that you enjoyed as a student at NCS?
Too many to name. I, like you, started off in the first era of the NCS, the organization, or I didn't start at the Pepperdine campus like you. You started in 73. I started in 77 of September. So I, too, remember, the hot lunch program started by Jerry Singletary and Mary Quick. Joel and I were talking about this not too long ago, and Joel's grandmother Dorothy Morris was a part of the hot lunch staff program. Joel can tell you to this day what a number one, a number two, or a number three was. Like, was it ketchup, mustard, ketchup, and relish? She can tell you, she remembers from that period of time, all those orders. So a lot of those things still stuck in my mind. The ICAP program sticks in my head when Todd Bridges and Kim Fields came to the school. And I also think one of the most seminal things that sticks in my head is the chapel program that they had in the 70s at Normandy Christian School, where it was literally just the height of the pop culture, where Sesame Street and the Muppets were out. To walk into the chapel and not necessarily be sitting there waiting to hear a speaker, but you're sitting up there and you're seeing puppets on stage acting out Bible skits and verses for little 6 and 7-year-old kids who were at home watching Sesame Street or The Electric Company. That was amazing, and it captivated the entire school. It captivated us by every grade. And so that's one of the first things that I remember about NCS is just the innovation of the people who work there and just being immersed into the pop culture and using that as an example of what a private school could offer that most public schools couldn't do.
Awesome answer, man. Awesome answer. And you kind of, went a whole bunch of different places.
There's a lot to remember.
But no, that's what I'm saying. And that's great. That's one thing about, NCS, just having an opportunity to cultivate, and develop as young people, pulling in different things from the community. And so, no, some of those things were super, super dope. And, I relish at having a time like that. I know for myself, I spend a lot of time at Normandy Christian School and Normandy Church of Christ, which was right next door. So for me, Monday through Friday, of course, I'm attending school there. And then Saturday and Saturday, we had the youth program going on. And of course, Sunday, we're there for worship. So for me, Normandy was like it kind of felt like a job, 7 days a week, 24/7, just always there, always being engaged. And so that was probably one of the, the best times of my life, just attending Normandy Christian School, or we just shorten it as NCS. Now, let me ask you a couple of questions real quick. Rapid fire.
Okay.
Best friend.
Yikes. Best friend that I started with or best friend that I ended with at the NCS?
However you want to answer the question, dear.
Yikes. Oh, man. So my best friend when I started NCS was a boy who was in my class named Billy Hendricks. We did everything together. We were in plays together at the school. I was supposed to be in a play with him at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion when we were in kindergarten together. But on my way to the performance, I slammed my hand in my mother's car door getting out of the car, and I was unable to participate in the onstage opera because I couldn't hold the parasol. And so the play and everything else had to go on without me. They used someone else. But he and I basically did or ran through everything together when we were there in kindergarten. He was only there with me from kindergarten to first grade. But then I guess my K through 6 best friend or the person who I hung out the most with was more than likely Timothy Quick. He and I were there every year that we were together. I have other friends that are there. But yeah, he sticks out the most for me.
Okay, you said Billy Hendricks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. All right, is he any relation to Jimi Hendrix?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, no, that's cool. Okay, so Darin, this is supposed to be rapid fire, man, not rapid fire and
I'm sorry. I had to really think about your answer.
I just needed just a quick question. Okay,
sure, go ahead.
Here's another question I got for you. Best grade?
Kindergarten.
Okay, all right, cool. Here's another one. Your favoriteest teacher?
Easy again. Kindergarten, Miss Bond.
Okay. The best principal at NCS?
Oh, that's disrespectful. The best principal. Yeah, I'll probably go with John Green.
John Green.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, favorite fundraiser.
Favorite fundraiser, I would probably go with the King and Queen contest with the Katydids, the chocolate candy. It's easy.
Okay, good. Who did you have a crush on?
That again is just so disrespectful.
Yes, we want to know. I told you we're gonna walk. See, here's the thing, you guys. Darin sent me a whole list of questions. I'm like, dude, let me cook.
That
right?
we're on track about the school and its people, not
I got
me.
you. But we gonna get to the school. But don't not answer the question. Answer the question.
That's so disrespectful to people out there in their marriages.
Dude, we were kids. Who cares?
Okay, fine.
But if you don't want to say,
No, I'll answer. I was just.
someone you had a crush on, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my classmate in kindergarten at the time, Patrice Poe.
There you go. See, Patrice. What up? So you thought I was about to say something, huh?
I really thought you were.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Erwin says, man, you know this dude is not rapping. You correct. This dude is not rapping. That's why I was like, man, I don't need a essay question after every question, man. Just give me something nice and quick. Yeah, Kinder Crush. Everyone's like, Kinder Crush? What are you talking about? Man, it's funny because even now, I was walking, so my background, I'm a restorative justice teacher at my school right down the street. And I kid you not, one of the kids, as they were leaving on Friday, were talking about, hey, so-and-so has a crush. They have a crush on somebody. I'm like, dang, dude.
It still goes on.
It still goes on. It's all good. All right, man. So since you don't want to talk about yourself, let's go ahead and kind of talk about what brings us really here. Now, we talked about the preschool. NCS is not holding students the way they used to, like when we were there growing up. Right now, they have a preschool, and they're trying to get kids to kind of remain there. Unfortunately, we really loved NCS and just everything that it did back in the day. But education now, as it relates to schools, have taken a turn, a different turn. And so no longer do you have a lot of families or a lot of church families, and either, families from the neighborhood, they're not sending their kids to a Christian school. They're going to, the regular public schools. They're going out of the area and things of that nature. What can we do to help NCS return to a little bit of what it had back in the past? What are just some of your thoughts in terms of what will it take for us to kind of return back to what it once was when we were kids?
Well, first, let me start off and counter that, saying that parents at this point have so many more options than what we had as youth in the 70s and 80s as it relates to education and their children's curriculum of where they want their children to start from. So let's give parents kudos for chasing those options to do the best that they can for their children. I don't have any issue or problem with that as a parent if you're seeking the best education path for your child. And every child doesn't fit in every round hole in terms of education. Some children need specific things as it relates to their education, and they should chase that. As it relates to normative Christian school, I think technology and innovation are going to be the two cornerstone turners that help propel NCS into the 22nd and 23rd century in terms of giving parents options that other schools have, and while also being innovative in their own niche and being able to tie in some of their tradition in terms of what they teach. So it's going to take a lot of effort in terms of an investment in technology and an investment in educational tools like ThinkPads, tablets, vibe boards, things that some other schools may have access to, but some of the things that NCS desperately needs to keep pace from an innovative perspective in terms of education.
That's such a wonderful answer, Darin.
Thank you, James.
And, some of these questions we didn't discuss, right? So, awesome answer. And you're right. Parents have choices. And so sometimes, again, we might go to the neighborhood school. We might go away from the neighborhood school. And again, a lot of people like that free education. And so with NCS, we know that there's a tuition because, just it costs a little bit to run a school. So, you have a lot more options for free and public schooling education than you do for, tuition-based schools. And so, again, parents have that option. I did have an opportunity way back in the day to send one of my kids, my third-born son. He was there for a little bit.
That's right.
He was there for a little bit, and it was great to see him mature there a little bit, and now he's in college doing his thing, and so I'm grateful that NCS was able to pour into his life. Shout out to Miss Parker, I believe was his teacher, and not only. Miss Parker, but there were tons of teachers and people who were influential, not only in the life of my son, but, your children, folks. I mean, we know myriads of people who have sent their, kids to NCS and
Brothers, sisters, cousins.
Absolutely. Just a wonderful, wonderful place.
Mothers have sent their daughters. Fathers have sent their sons.
Yeah.
It's epic.
Absolutely. Now, again, let's, I love one of your questions that you sent me. What is the reason behind forming the NCS Alumni Association? So talk on that just for a little bit.
Okay.
What's the story? Why do we have the NCS Alumni Association?
Well, the need for the NCS Alumni Association came out of a desire for former students to either see each other or start having traditional class reunions. As you may remember, a lot of the reunions that we attended after we graduated high school, graduated college, a lot of those were put on or established by the school themselves with the help of the teachers, a couple of administrators. They would pitch in and help and try to get in contact with as many parents as they could and encourage their kids to come back to the reunions that were on campus. And so now that some of those teachers have moved on and sadly gone on, the effort to kind of corral or keep those students in connection with each other hasn't been the same level of effort of where it was before. And so now we've dedicated an organization with a website and a student database run by the students to basically rebuild those pillars of togetherness and pillars of tradition so that students who are now adults and small business owners and doctors and professors can now have a meeting place to where we can do something on a large scale like the 50th reunion, which was an all-class reunion, or even do something smaller on a smaller scale, such as a individual class reunion. If we want to just get the class of 82 together or the class of 85 together, or just do like a group effort and take the class of 80, 81, 82, 83 together and just meet at World on Wheels. We're developing the infrastructure to be able to reach those students individually or collectively as their class to tap into them and create an event at any time.
Okay. Time out, because that was a lot right there. This dude, one thing about Darin, you ask him, can you say the ABCs? Not only will he give it to you in English, he'll give it to you in Spanish, in Swahili, everything else. So, bro, we just asking. All right, I'm enough for giving you a hard time.
Like BDP said, I think very deeply.
I know. Erwin says, bro, check it out. He says, Word on Wheels are closed, man. What's up with that?
I didn't know that World on Wheels was closed. I know there was an effort to reopen them. I didn't know they had closed down again. But that's interesting. But I was just using that as an example, just to say if we wanted to get 4 classes together and go do a skating rink, I just use World on Wheels as an example.
Absolutely.
There's other places we can find, but okay.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. So, how does one be a part? I know there's right now we're live, should be live in our NCS alumni and teachers page, NCS Christian School alumni, faculty, and staff and parents page. How can folks get in contact you? Is there a list? So how can we, figure that out? Hey, I want to donate, $15 or whatever the case might be. To your point, cupcakes for the preschool.
Okay.
How do we get in contact with you, or so that way, you can help facilitate, the purchasing of cupcakes or finding a vendor for cupcakes for the preschool?
Okay. All right. So I'll start with
in brief.
I'll start with just the website, which you can find at ncsalumni.org.
Okay.
From that website, you can join the Normandy Christian School Alumni Association. You can also donate online at the same website. All of our online donations are handled by a 501c3 organization called Zephy, which allows us to keep 100% of the profits that we raise. Zephy doesn't take a penny from what we do. They pass all the revenue on directly to us so that we can take that revenue and do what we want.
That's great. Okay. So again, their website is www.ncsalumni.org.
That is correct.
All righty. Let's go ahead and put that up on the screen really quick. So that way, if you want to be a part, and you definitely can do that. So let me just plop it right here, and it should pop up right about.
And if you want to walk them through, there's a Join NCSAA button at the bottom of the page.
Okay. So hold on real second. There we go. And let me go ahead and multitask over here. So we have a few more moments left. Is there a telephone number? And Darin, I think you have the capacity to drop the telephone number on in the live stream as well. As I'm trying to pull up
as we speak
the NCS alum.org. Let's see what we got. And then I will share it as soon as it pops up. Oh, look at that. Look at it. Connect with the NCS legacy. All right, so let's share. There you go.
That now.
So while Darin is working on dropping in the telephone number, here is the website, and we have some pictures from our all-class reunion that we had. When was it? In September, August?
That was in August.
August. Okay. So again, why join NCS AA? Darin, do me a favor. Just turn the sound down on your device there. And so you have some FAQs right there. And then at the bottom, it says, get involved today. Now, when someone fills out this information, who is going to get in contact with them? What's kind of the process, if folks are leaving their information, who's going to contact them, or, kind of what do you have in place? What is the process that you have in place for folks who sign up via the website?
Well, for now, most people who are leaving their information just want to be filled in or kept in the loop of, are there any events coming up that they can be a part of, that they want to reconnect with their class or something like that. We haven't had a lot of requests come through there that say, I want to be a part of this, or I want to be a part of that. Most people are just dropping their information so that they can be found, which is great.
Yeah, and I like how you have 877-627-2586 or 877-NCS alum. And I'm sure that was done on purpose, too.
It was absolutely done on purpose for two things. A toll-free number allows any NCS student who is in the United States, in California, worldwide, to find us or dial us from anywhere in the world, and it doesn't cost them a thing. And the vanity number, yes, that we use, we specifically sought out that telephone number because we wanted it to be memorable for people to find, oh, well, how can I get in contact with the NCS Alumni Association? Oh, I don't have to remember much. It's just NCS alum. And so they can get right to our office.
There you go. There it is on the screen again, man. 877-627-2586 or 877-NCS alum. So this is the first kind of episode, again, our inaugural episode of our podcast. And I know we're kind of having a little fun, but what are some of the guests, or who are some of the guests that you've reached out to that, you've invited to be a part of this wonderful podcast? Now, if they haven't confirmed,
okay,
but just instead of throwing out names,
okay,
maybe just say who, or, who you would like to be a part of this wonderful podcast.
Okay. So there are a few people who have confirmed.
Okay.
Let me take a look. Hold on one second. I mean, you said you don't want to give names, so that's fine.
So as you're looking, I think Erwin is still watching. Erwin, you're welcome to come in and, be a part of the podcast. I know you're in education, soon to be doctor. As soon as you finish going through your course of study, we would love to have you in studio. We could reminisce with you as well. And this goes for anyone who is close by in the Los Angeles area. We can arrange a time and, you can go live here, or if you want to go live via Zoom, or, we can tap in using Zoom or whatever the case might be. So that's an easy situation. Darin is kind of the talent search for the podcast, and my job is to make sure the technical side of it happens. And so, Darin, if you have a couple of folks that you would like to call off who have confirmed, that would be very, very cool.
Okay, yeah, sure. So coming up in later this month, I believe, we've confirmed. This month, which was, I guess we're in February, but we're really doing January's episode. We were going to be able to have a conversation or sit down with fireman Aaron Robinson, class of '02. Because of all the technical difficulties and everything that we've had, we're going to have to find a new date so that we can work him in. We have a confirmation also from NCS's first pediatrician, Dr. Kimberly Dixon. So she's going to be on our podcast pretty soon. We also worked out a date with I won't give the person's name for now. We've worked out a date with one of the lead deputy assistants for our city's mayor, Karen Bass. So we've worked out a date with him to have him on the podcast very soon.
Absolutely.
He's an NCS student as well. As a matter of fact, when I was in 6th grade, he was in kindergarten class. That's how far back he and we met. We also have, in the small business lane, the owner of CW and Chris. We're bringing the entire Player family on. We're going to get all of them on, including one of them has a daughter that has an outstanding lemonade beverage.
Okay.
It's off the chain. So.
Now, Darin, here's I just need you to confirm the talent. If you're going to have the whole family get in, man, we're going to have to work. That's something we're going to have to work that out.
Well, yeah, that one might be a logistical nightmare if they aren't all in one location. But yeah. But literally every student or every member in that family that was a child all went to NCS.
Okay.
So they've got a real story to tell.
Absolutely. No, we look forward to having those folks on. And, we anticipate now, Darin sent me a long list of dates and times. And so they're kind of flexible a little bit. We're going to try to adhere to what we have. But yeah, if you're interested in being a part of our podcast, again, this is our initial podcast. And so we would love to have you. Again, if you're here in LA, you can come to the studio. We're right now in Compton. And, we can make it happen. If you don't want to do live, we can go ahead and record it and post it later. So it's pretty much up to you. So Darin is reaching out to folks who are alumni of NCS, who are doing things. And here's the point. We want folks who are kind of reminiscent of their wonderful time at NCS, but also we want them to kind of share what they're doing, kind of catch up and see what they're doing right now. So again, and I reached out to, I said Erwin a little bit earlier ago, but no, definitely anyone who's a part of NCS. And so I know some of my folks who are still here.
I forgot. We have your classmate, James, confirmed. Coach Sean Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he'll be on as well.
I was going to have Coach Sean on my own podcast, so I don't know if we might have to save him for my podcast. But anyway, no, that's cool. So shout out to Coach Sean over there at Verdugo Hills doing his thing. Appreciate you. The class of 1980. And, the thing about him, him and his family, they didn't live in L.A. They traveled way from Pacoima. So,
oh, wow.
That was, unless they had fun fact. Unless they had a house out here in LA, which I doubt. No, they would make that trip. The parents would make that trip every day. Sean and Todd Jackson, they lived out in Pacoima, good friend, me and him. We used to hang out in high school a little bit. So shout out to him. And I ran into him a couple of months ago. So Coach Sean, you got to come on, man. We can make it happen in person or virtually. Darin, man, I think that's it. My timer went off, man. I think this is a wonderful way to kind of introduce the NCS community to what we're trying to do.
Good.
I can't wait for it to have Eloisa Brown on here. She was one of the principals. and just kind of reminisce. So I know that she's probably going to leave a comment or so about this particular episode, man.
Now that's going to be a logistical setup from Japan. Yeah.
Well, hey, we can make it happen. All this is just a time difference. That's all it is. Of course, we don't expect her to pop in here. But, if she happens to be in the neighborhood throughout the year, we'll love for her to come in. But no, it's easy with the technology now. It's very easy to reach out and touch someone or have someone come on the podcast. So, Darin, we appreciate you, man.
My pleasure.
Anything that you want to leave or say as we complete and finish up our initial podcast tonight?
Yeah, I do want to put out that people have been sending us VHS copies or DVD copies of their NCS graduations. I have the 1987 graduation on DVD, and one of our projects of what we're going to do is we're going to collaborate with iMemories and get those DVDs formatted and uploaded, and we're going to let that content live on our YouTube channel so you guys can always watch it. You'll always have a place to go see it. It'll be something that, you guys can show your kids. You can reminisce from when you were in that grade. So if your parents have content, videos, whatever it is, get in contact with us. Bring it up to the school. Bring it up to our office. We'll get it formatted and get it back to you. Whatever you need us to do. Same thing with pictures. Anything you guys have, old yearbooks, if you want to donate some items, let us know. Just reach out to us, give us a call, send us an email, let us know.
The last thing I wanted to do, because you talked about Aaron, and I was hoping to, maybe save part of this conversation with him. But I know we, because of the fires, the devastation, the destruction that took place, Darin, can you just briefly tell us about the relief effort? So my wife is a cheer coach at Palisades Charter High School. And, we know that 30% of the school was burned down. And so much so that now they're virtual. They're hoping to get back into the campus later on this year. But, there were some cheerleaders that were affected. I believe 9 or 10 cheerleaders who were affected lost everything. And so Darin had a wonderful idea, and he pitched it to my wife, the cheer coach, and he was like, look, donations, we can make donations happen. And, some of those donations can go to, Pally, the students at Patty, the cheerleader squad. And so if you could just talk, let's just finish up the show. Just talk about that. And then, again, if you can drop that link in terms of people making donations once they watch this episode. So just kind of tell us the idea and, behind providing some support for, the Pally High School cheerleaders and where they can donate.
Oh, okay. I'll need a minute to get the link that you're asking for.
Okay.
Excuse me. But yeah, one of the things that is great about our NCS alumni organization, a 501c3 nonprofit, is that we can take our nonprofit arm and basically reach into any category or area where we see a need to fit ourselves in to help other students. All of our donations that are being accepted are going to be given back out to those disenfranchised Pally students, and they're going to be in the names of the former NCS alumni who went to Palisades High School. We'll basically give it back and say that it's from those Pally students giving back to their other alumni students. And so one of the efforts of what we are doing, like I said, we partner with Zephy to where we're asking for people to give a donation of $25 toward our fund. It's a nonprofit organization, so it's a win-win again for you, where what you donate is what you get back on your taxes. So we're trying to set things up that way to help people out. And one of the things that I talked to Maisha about, your lovely wife, is that I wanted to be able to kind of help those students kind of replenish their clothes that they were wearing for school. Some of those kids apparently left their houses with just the clothes on their back.
They sure did.
And so we want to take an effort and basically try to, get as many gift cards as we can and put those in an envelope, give those gift cards to those students. And then once we get through that effort, and I hadn't shared this with you, James, or your wife yet, I want to find out from Maisha, and maybe she can tell me, how many of those cheerleaders are seniors. And what we also want to do is find out what colleges those students have applied to for school. And so we want to make a donation to cover their application fee for that school, whether it's a CSU or a UC school or a private school or an Ivy League school or an HBCU. We want to find out from those seniors, what schools are you applying to? And we want to make a one-time donation to one of those schools to cover their admission cost for the fee to get into that school.
All right. So that's noble. That's super dope. Now, I will say a lot of these kids have already sent in their applications. So they've already received some acceptance letters from, so you might be a little bit too late. But what I will say is talk to the lovely wife who is in charge, or one of the coordinators for the cheer team at Pally. So again, what I'll do is, I thought I had the link on my machine, on my computer, where folks can donate. I'll go ahead and pop that in there. Once I get to my other machine, I'll pop that link in there, and the graphic where folks, there's a QR code that we set up. And so all you have to do is scan the QR code. And if you want to send donations of $25 or more, or whatever the case might be at this point, you can do so. So super dope.
I did forget to mention the fundraiser for the Pally relief victims. It is up on our NCS alumni website as well. So just go on. I think it's under donations.
Okay.
I believe it's there.
Now, sir, you might want to make that a little bit more prominent so folks won't have to find it. So I'm scrolling right now. I don't see it. So you might want to make that a little bit more prominent on the website. Maybe even, I see donate. And when I go to donate, let's see what happens. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you might want to make sure that
we can highlight that. But yeah, I just want to make sure that it was up. But yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Darin's camera cut off, so that's why you don't see him. You only see me, but you can hear him pretty well. And again, shout out to Erwin for making sure, for double checking and making sure that our out of the office sound engineer, as Darin has called him, made sure that everything is sounding nice, or gave us the thumbs up, making sure that our sound is nice and crispy. So other than that, we are done. We really appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to kind of watch this, whether it's live or replay. And so if you're watching the replay squad, why don't you go ahead and add #replay squad. That way we know that you made it through most of the video. All right. So we appreciate that. And then also, we did drop in a link for everyone to go over to the YouTube channel. And, we'll upload this video over to the YouTube channel. And, we want you to like, comment, and subscribe over there. And then as we close, we have some social media handles that you can access and join us as well. So I'll go ahead and pop those on the screen, and we will talk about there's a Facebook page, Instagram page. Darin, remind us the Instagram handle. I know you mentioned it right before we went on for a live. What is the Instagram handle that people can find NCS alumni?
It is the @ symbol, so @NCS alumni _.
Okay, @NCS alumni _. So that's the only difference, but all the other places that you see on the screen, you can find us there at those locations. And I think I am done for tonight. So on behalf of my wonderful guest, Darin Eugene Hudson, class of 19, what's your class number, bruh?
Class of 83.
Class of 1983, the NCS alumni board president, Darin Eugene Hudson. We appreciate you hopping on. And again, if you made it through this video, go ahead and like, and then you can share the video as well for those who might want to know a little bit more in terms of how they can support NCS. Well, guys, our alarm has gone off. I'm tired. I want to go home and continue celebrating Black History Month. And so on behalf of Darin, I am your host, Mr. Riley, coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. We'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.
I would never say I'm self-made, I need a lot of help. Pray I never let the wealth change the way I see myself. I got love all around me, but sometimes I forget.